Oh, yo. Oh my God. I'm like, okay. Whew. Yo, hey. You're not. All right. Showtime! Hey, we present on stage Alta Sherlock Precinct. Stand by the mind, people gauge. Doctor Strange. Galong young gal, you well comfortable and a cute man of pressure them place. Eh, galong kaya no say you would a miserable and you not catch another them place. Eh, galong young gal, you well comfortable and a cute man of pressure them place. Eh, galong kaya no say you would a miserable and you not catch none of them place. Tell off it out. Can nobody can call you all about. Not spit. All right. that that is our morning music for the day. Yes, we have an intro. What's going on, y'all? It is Saturday morning, and it is live with the Blurs, as you always know. Here to chat everything blurred and nerdy as we do on the weekly. So thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you go ahead and tell a friend. Share this right now while you can, because we about to go ahead and go in. Hit that share button, invite a friend. We love to hear your commentary because we ain't playing today. We about to go full spoiler. So enough of this whole play around stuff, bruh. We're gonna go ahead and go into it. I am your boy, the real Vince Taylor. And of course, we joined by the Blurred panel this morning. We got the homie Tyrone in the building. We got Yazzie in the building. We got Ty's a little sick. Oh, guys. And so is his wife. and we've got Stephanie is on the way. She's recovering from a fun night of playing Avengers, let's just say. But in the meantime, we have a special guest that we're going to go ahead and I was going to wait till a little later, but go ahead and introduce our special guest right now. We do have one and only the comedian extraordinaire from Kingston, Jamaica. Some of you may recognize her from when you see her at the Improv and all of them ting. A good friend of our girl, Steph, as well. And you know you're going to see her on the big screen at some point. Want y'all to help me welcome the one and only first-time appearance, but hopefully not the last, Ash Cash Bagash. Hey. What's going on, Ash?
What's up? Where do you find these pictures at?
Instagram. They're public. So anyway, a couple quick announcements before we get into everything. Big news, as y'all may know. Some of y'all watch the same internet that I watch, but it sounds like there is a new Doctor Who in the works. And since Ash and I are both Whovian, we gonna talk about that. Doctor Strange is Doctor Strange is outright. This is not the picture that I got. Oh my God, what is wrong? Excuse me. Stranger Things is supposed to be hitting, I think, this or next week, if I'm not mistaken. So
next week, it's the week after this week. So in 2 weeks.
Perfect. And of course, speaking of Strange New Worlds is giving me the horror we've always wanted. But we are here today to finally unpack this whole entire multiverse thing that we saw last week. For those of y'all who was here last week, you know we did our damnedest to not spoil this for you. But fuck all that. Today is the day, bruh. We finna spoil this shit. If you ain't seen it yet, it is your fault. So you need to go ahead and go watch it. But let's go ahead and introduce us as we are the New Blurred Order. Yvette, why don't you go ahead and tell us why you love us so much? Hey guys,
I love the New Blurred Order. You should too.
Whoa. Yo, come on, man. See why the internet be hating on me, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why, but what have I done to deserve all of this that's going on? Well, first of all, guys, it is good to see everybody this morning. Shout out to all who are watching. Shout out to the comment section. We love to hear from the comments. This is an interactive broadcast, so please talk to us about your experience. Let us know your feelings. We often like to put your comments on the screen as we see right here. What's up? The main man Biddles in the building, one of our regulars, one of our blurs as well. It is Lisa, who I understand finally saw Oh my God, am I freezing?
Yeah.
Just a little bit, just visually,
Okay.
just visually.
Yeah, you look great.
Look, the powers that be, you cannot silence me. All right. NSA, I know y'all are on to us. But yeah, man, it is a good day for most of us. Not necessarily all of us, because some of us got sick this week, unfortunately. And just want to take some time to just wish good health on Ty and his family. Ty, man, how you feeling there, bro?
Like I got COVID. That's how I feel.
All right. Well, my man. All right. Well, I mean, did you get it from when you went to the movie theater, or like do you have any idea how we got here, or I mean, do we want to talk about it, or because I got COVID this week too.
I'm not sure how I got it. I mean, I would assume when I went into, wifey's graduation, I might have got it then. It was a lot of people and they was in close proximity. Nobody had masks on, including myself. So it could be that.
Oh, okay. It's good for you to have accountability, my friend. Thank you for that. Well, I hope you get better. I heard that hydroxyl works. There's some horse, I believe, what's there, some sort of horse medicine, right? Yes.
It's ivermectin. It is for humans and horses. Thank you. Okay, we are mammals, motherfuckers. So yes, it is for mammals. Okay.
Make sure it says mammals on the box. Don't get the one that says reptiles.
But yeah,
I got some.
Listen, I have not. I'm knocking on wood right now. I have not got COVID as of to date since COVID started.
All right. Yo, Ty, could you cough in her direction? Let's chicken pox this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm vigilant.
All right. Well, I'm
glad
that
been
I
using
hope
horny goat weed. I thought that was the same thing. So,
I'm sure Amy approves. Well, I'm sorry to hear you going through it, homeboy. And we're hoping Steph can join us at some point. But yo, I actually had a run with COVID as well. And before we get into all of the fun of the multiverse, if it's okay with y'all, I would kind of like to just talk about my little experience that I had with COVID this week, because that's one of the benefits of having a show is we can talk about things that we want to. So let's break down the multiverse. But first, in terms of multiverse, bruh, I was pissed the fuck off this week, and I was waiting to talk about it on this show because I was detained, all right, this week, basically. All right. Now, some of y'all may or may not know that I actually work on this little boat. And my God, they hate it when you call it a boat. They like to call it a ship. But I had to work on this boat called Carnival Magic this week. All right. And I was all excited. I talked about it last week, and I've been doing that. Some of y'all have seen me already. I would try to go live from the ship. I actually have been working there for a couple years. And it is a thrill to be able to do comedy in front of all of these potential COVID spreaders. But this particular week, when I boarded the ship, we're obligated to test ourselves. We're to be tested upon arrival. All right. So I went on. I ain't gonna lie, I had a little sniffle. You know what I'm saying? A little sniffle last week. You know what I'm saying? I had been taking Dayquil and other medicinal products to try to keep myself at bay. But when I got on the ship, I was tested. Now, mind you, I boarded in Port Canaveral, all right, which is about an hour, 15 minutes from the Orlando area. And when I got there, I parked. I went onto the ship. I went through security and all of that. And as soon as they tested me, the young African nurse was like, "You have tested positive for the COVID virus." And I was like, "Positive?" She's like, "Yes." And she showed me the 2 lines, that say that you're pregnant or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, damn." So I was like, "All right, I guess I can't board the ship then. Huh? I guess I got to go home." She's like, "No, you're going into isolation." I was like, "Whoa, no. I just parked my car." You know what I'm saying? Let me just go back home and isolation at my house with my PS5 that I just got, so I can play Tyrone and Colleen in Ghost of Tsushima and Avengers for the week while I get this COVID out my system. It's like, no. You have clocked in you cannot leave. And I knew what Kuta and them felt like at this moment. I was like, wait a minute, this is not my village. You know what I'm saying? Allow me to depart. And bruh, they did not let me leave, bruh. They stuck me in a room and I could not leave the room for a whole week since last Saturday. When I remember, if you go back and watch last week's, you see I actually was packing while we were on here.
Yep.
I actually got into my truck and drove right after our broadcast. Actually, some of the broadcast and our after. We didn't do the after show. But afterwards, when we talked, I was on the way to port. I even showed the port in our and like right after that, bro, they locked me in a fucking room, bro, and they would not let me leave the whole entire time, bro. I was stranded at sea and I couldn't leave my room. One time, I even heard somebody there's this corridor. We're on the second floor in guest cabins. I will give them this much. They did give me a window, which is rare. All right, most of us, we normally, as Jersey says, sleep under the sea with Sebastian. But I did get a window, and they did give us guest rooms. We didn't get a house cleaner, but the moment they find out you have COVID, it becomes like a scene from E.T. They're like, okay, we'll be right back. And then like two dudes in astronaut suits. Follow us, please. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, well, where am I going? To my car? They're like, no, you're going to the isolation hall. I was like, I live here, bro. Let me go to my fucking car. You know what I'm saying? They're like, no, you've clocked in already, so you now belong to us. And they don't. So I sat in my isolation room for 3 hours looking at my car at the port, unable to leave before I watched us sail away. It was the most. I was in my room going. Now, some of y'all know I got mental issues. I can't control my emotions at times. So I'm in that bitch like, fuck this shit. What the fuck? I'm calling everybody. Johnny Cochran, goddamn ass dropping. This is some racist. Now, even the lady that tested me was African, so we are not the racist, you know. It's just the CDC protocol. I'm like, nah, man, fuck that shit, bro. Y'all, I don't know what the fuck this is. Yo, this is goddamn, the freaking Ghanaian port all over again. Man, this is not Cape Town. Why the hell is y'all trying to keep me on this boat? I don't want to be on a boat. Like, I got my own insurance. I can go home. I can go get some hydroxyquil from Yaz. And you know what I'm saying? I'll be fine within a couple of days. Bro, they locked me in that bitch. They did feed me, of course, because they have to, right?
You a slot?
It's not Orange is the New Black, bro. You watch too much Wentworth, man. Nah, but this is how they do it. They be like, but it did feel like, all right, full disclosure, and I hope this don't make me lose gigs or any cred, but I have been to jail before, all right? And this was very, very similar to being locked up. Some of us on this panel know what it's like. Like at one point, so every morning, y'all, at 6 or 7 a.m., depending on shift time, breakfast, and they don't let you sleep through it. Breakfast. It reminds me of like when you're in jail, what happens is they be like, chow time. Every time it's time to eat, it's like chow time. I'm like, yeah, fuck, this is fucking jail. The food's a little better. It's not as it was definitely a better experience. It was literally like jail without the fun in the showers and whatnot. But I really felt detained, bro, and I felt I had been done a disservice. I had to fight to get off. They tried to keep me on another week, bro. I tested again this Thursday, and I was negative. Okay. Which led me to believe that there was a possibility that I might have been given a false positive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it wasn't. Who knows if this nurse knew what the fuck she was doing? She was violating guidelines. We had just gotten an email from the guest entertainer coordinator saying that we are only allowed to be held for 5 days, even if we're positive or negative. After that, if we drove the port, we're allowed to leave. So after the fourth day, she calls me. She says, "Okay, we are scheduling your next test for tomorrow. And if you are positive or negative, then you only have to be in isolation for 5 more days." I was like, fuck that. I was like, we port on Friday. I'm getting the fuck out. She's like, we'll see what the doctor says. I was like, fuck the doctor. The doctor is not my boss. I don't work for the doctor. Doctor who? See what I did there, Ash? You like that?
Yeah, cool. I got that.
So literally I had to like start calling people, sending emails, and here's the fucked up part, yo. And I'm so glad. Thanks for letting me vent. I know I'm taking up our time. But here's the most fucked up part: when you're on the cruise, you don't get Wi-Fi, right? If anybody's been on a cruise before, you know that you don't automatically get Wi-Fi. So in order to get Wi-Fi, you have to go to this kiosk and like put your card in or put some money in, and then you have to pay for Wi-Fi by the day or by the minute. Even if you're, I guess, even if you work on it, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay for Wi-Fi. All right. That's how I was able to broadcast those few times. But they didn't let me go. They didn't let me go. So as soon as they found out and came in with the ET with all of the moon suits, I was unable to go and put money on my card. So I had no Wi-Fi access. So I couldn't call anybody. I couldn't get on Instagram or I sound like such a Gen Zer right now. I couldn't even look at my TikTok. I can't even Instagram. I couldn't YouTube anything, man. I miss my favorite YouTubers. And I was isolated in real life. Like I had no connection to the outer world other than the window on my wall. And I was heated. I was heated to say the least, man. And I mean, I was like literally like calling around like, yo, who the fuck can I get fired on this bitch? Fuck this. I'm never coming back. I don't want to work for this shit no more. This ain't even worth it. You know what I'm saying? The pay is good, but it ain't worth my soul. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I stuck through it because I even remember at one point in time, I tried to go, I left the room and I went to the hall, and like one of the housekeepers, they come in, they have gas masks on, like they're fully, like they look like they're in Breaking Bad, you know what I'm saying? And they have like these yellow suits on and gas masks. And this dude opened the door and saw me, he's like, and he froze up, and I was like, oh, I think I may not should be out the room. I went back in the room. I was, because there's nothing else to do. I heard somebody else try to leave the room too, and I heard somebody like, "You're not supposed to be here." He's like, "Hey, I'm just trying to." He's like, no, you get back. And I almost felt like there was like cattle prodding them back into our rooms. So I'm just happy that I did test negative. Is Ty still there? Okay, he's still here. I'm just happy that I tested negative. I'm happy that I was able to escape. I feel like I've been emancipated. Literally when I got off, bro, when they gave me my passport back, I ran to my car. They're like, no, because they were supposed to take us to, they took some of us to hotels to finish the quarantine. But so they gave me my passport, and I started running to somebody. Say, no, the bus is this way. I was like, bitch, I'm going to my car. You know, your car? Like, yes, my car. Bitch, my car. I was the only car in the whole parking lot because we didn't even have a cruise that day. So I'm just happy to be back in the real world, to breathe air, because it was dusty as hell. I binge watched Wentworth and the Pentaveret while I was on the boat. That's all I could do because I downloaded them on my iPad. And now I'm here today with y'all again. So I just want to say for that one lady, not the whole carnival, because my homegirl Lisette Garcia, she looked out one time for Jocelyn Kirkland, the entertainment coordinators from Carnival, who personally made that phone call. I was like, why did you keep him on the boat? But whoever that lady was, that Wakandan princess who decided you weren't even going to give me the option to get the fuck off the boat, I just want to personally look in the camera and say, fuck you, bitch. You had no right to keep me on that boat. Fuck the protocols. The email had been sent out. You were power hungry for some strange reason, and you felt the need to make an example of me. Fuck you and everything you stand for. I cannot get that week back, and I hope that the COVID, you know what? Let me not go that far. All right,
pull up.
I need you to get your act together. You lucky that they didn't let me go to medical and ask what your name was, because I'm going to blast you on this upcoming conference call that we have with the KES coordinators and let them know that you specifically, you only, because even the doctors were like, why did you have to stay on the boat? I was like, this whole HEAUX would not let me the fuck off the boat. So, ma'am, as much as I love us, you did me wrong. And I think you took advantage of me and profiled me because I was dressed a little thuggish, I suppose. But you did not give me my just due. And you didn't give me, you treated me wrong, bitch. And I was scarred by that shit, yo. And so, needless to say, I will not be doing Carnival for a little while because I'm traumatized by the experience. So, what's up, Ty?
Vince, you from St. Louis, right?
Yeah.
How tall was this lady? I mean, did she have some 26-inch pythons? I mean, like when you say she detained you, did she have a nightstick? Jason,
Get him.
I mean, I'm just trying to follow this story. I mean, you just spent 20 minutes talking about this lady detained you, and I'm trying to gather when you say detained, did she
Okay.
put you in a full Nelson?
Okay.
Is
Okay. Okay.
like,
All right.
I
Hilarious.
mean,
Good
I'm
question. Good
just saying.
question. All right. She didn't personally like put me in the headlock. All right. When she found out I was positive, she left the room, went
Mhm,
put on her yellow suit and gas mask, and then she went and got two security officers. All right.
mm,
That then escorted me to the elevator. All right. So that should now all the security on Carnival are all Indian. They're like, hey, okay, come with me, please. You have to go this way. And they like I don't know why they like it seems like everybody like every nationality has their own like department, you know what I'm saying? The Filipinos, they clean the rooms and they make the food. The Indians are the security guards, and like most of the folks from everywhere else, they're just in the service industry. But yeah, that's what happens. Otherwise I would have knocked that hoe out, right? I mean, what was I going to do? Like I'd have to leave. You can't just leave, you know what I'm saying? Like you
I
have to
mean,
go
you
through
can.
security to get off the boat, you know what I'm saying?
You could. You
Like
could.
there's not like every room doesn't have a door exit that goes into like on land. So there's like two gangways, and at the gangways there's security check, and they run your card and then they let you off. So even if I was to be like fuck this, I'm out and start running to the gangway, but wait, sir, where are you going? We need to see your ID and understand what is going on. And I'll be like fuck man, let me the fuck off. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be like what? Breaker 19. We have a black man trying to escape boat. We need to understand what is it. So I didn't know. I didn't know how to handle it. So I just went to the room thinking, all right, when I get to the room, I'll make some phone calls. But I didn't realize until I got in there, I was like, oh shit, I don't have Wi-Fi, and I can't go and get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened.
So you're saying that the lady Captain Phillips your ass and said, "My shit. I run the boat."
Literally, bruh. And so I'm happy to be back in the free world. I've never been so happy to be a United States citizen. I'm because that's the only reason they let me off, because I'm a United States citizen. If I was anywhere else, then they're like, no, you have to stay on. So that saved me, man. My passport origin saved me. So it's good to be back in the free world where we can once again discuss many one time for many. Many. Yo, nah, it was not the Princess Wakanda. Nah, but that would have been I would have been okay with staying on that one. Well, anyway, man, I'm glad to be back on land where we can talk about this universe and finally discuss last week's release of Doctor Strange, the multiverse. The picture of which I am scrolling. There it is. Hey, the multiverse of which we can finally discuss all of the things that were so dope. Now, real quick, we do have a guest on the panel. So, Ash, I'm assuming you have seen the multiverse already.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, what were your thoughts? What'd you think about it?
I liked it. It was enjoyable. I like that they brought in, I thought they were going to bring in more characters from other multiverses, but I did like, the panel, the Illuminati. It was fun to see all those characters and seeing Wanda in a different light. I didn't expect her to be the villain, but Wanda, I love Wanda and I love the WandaVision series. So the fact that it continued from that and referenced that, I really enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
So that was okay.
There were some people that were stating that this was like a Disney Plus sequel to What If and WandaVision. Like it's basically like those two connected together. And I'm saying
and
that
Inhumans, like they had Black Bolt in there too, which I wasn't expecting. Like nobody knows who that is.
Now, I'm glad that you brought this up because Black Bolt, for those of y'all that don't know, was in this, but he was actually also the same exact Black Bolt that we saw, the same actor that is, that played as Black Bolt in the Inhumans series.
Yeah.
That I frankly, for one, and I might be in the minority in this, but I frankly, for one, think that movie, oh, well, look at this. Well, look who decides to join us. Hello, Miss Steph. How art thou?
Steph.
How was your night?
Stellar.
All right, we'll leave it there. This is a family show, goddammit. So
Is it? Is it?
Right. Since when? Right.
well, evident. I don't know if you've noticed, but a friend of yours is on the panel, and we have the one and only Ash. What's going on, Ash? And Steph and Yas. Now to make the panel completely balanced. All right, we've balanced the universe, and we were just getting into some of the things in the multiverse from Doctor Strange 2 that we weren't able to discuss last week because obviously we were trying not to spoil it for people like Lisa and other lazy folks who wanted to wait until the day after or the week after to go see it. Yes, I said it. I said what I said. And yeah.
Throwing shade.
Yeah, your time in the brig made you different, man. You just coming at people all getting mad at the fans, getting mad at everybody.
Well, look. Lisa knows I love her, man. We go back to Lyman High School, man. So no pressure. But we were just talking about the appearances from the Illuminati that we did see in the multiverse. One of which was none other than the one and only Black Bolt, who unfortunately did not have the best exit. We're going full spoiler here, by the way, guys. So fuck what you heard. Now, Black Bolt. Did anybody here watch the Inhuman series?
I did.
Yeah. What were y'all? Ty, what was your thoughts about the Inhumans series, bro? Was it?
I liked it.
I didn't hate it.
I liked it. I mean, it was entertaining. I specifically liked what was her name with the red hair, the long hair?
Yes,
Medusa.
Medusa. I liked her character. I mean, I didn't think it was bad.
Yeah, I didn't either, man. Yeah, Ash, what did you think about it?
I think it was okay. Like it wasn't that enthralling to me. It was kind of like one of those background shows I was watching while I was working, but like it was enjoyable when I did watch it. I feel like it ended really weird, but I don't know.
Yeah. For me, it felt. I ain't gonna lie. I actually liked it. I liked it. I liked. It was cool to see. Reek. Well, his name wasn't Reek, but the dude that tortured Reek in Game of Thrones in a different light.
Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah,
Ramsay Bolton. Yeah, Ramsay, and it was good to see this different version. It felt like I don't know. It had like an ET like feel to it, like
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. esque.
Yeah.
It was very Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. esque.
I liked like the search for humanity and like how the girl with the red, like they had to disguise themselves, you know what I'm saying, as earthlings to an extent. And I think that it was, frankly, I think if you haven't seen it, it's worth a second watch. It was one of those instances I watched the whole series and I was like, yo, that was dope. And then I went and checked the reviews and I was like, oh shit, I guess I didn't like it. I guess it was terrible. You know what I'm saying? But I was really happy to see Black Bolt despite his demise. That
was my favorite. Is that weird?
No, that was awesome. That was awesome.
I was like, that makes sense. Of course,
it did make sense. Well, I wanted to draw. In addition to Black Bolt, there were some other members of the Illuminati panel that I wanted to kind of call attention to. But I also want to call attention to something that my brother Woody Taylor, shout out to my brother, brought to my attention. There were a lot of Game of Thrones parallels in this movie. I don't know if y'all peeped that or not. There were a lot of Game of Thrones. All right, so if you recall, Cersei, how did she? Her ultimate demise was in the building as it
crumbled. You're right. Yep.
And so the Scarlet Witch, all right, something like that happened. Also, who could we compare this man to? Brandon, right? Oh shoot, did it come on? There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brandon could be the third eye. And then speaking of third eyes, I mean, let's talk about third eye ravens here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we have a whole Doctor Strange with the whole third eye, which I don't know if that's the best CGI. That looks like it was done on somebody's phone.
They just slapped it on top.
But there's a lot of parallels. And even like I loved how like they took a scene. This was straight out of the Matrix. For those who didn't see the very first Matrix, I don't know if you recall when Agent Smith was like, when Neo was first being confronted in the room, he was like, well, I'm just going to go tell. He's like, how are you going to do that? if you don't have a mouth. He's like,
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of homage being paid to some of these to some other movies here, man. But I'm still hella impressed by the fact that they use the same. I love Marvel's continuity, bro. Tyrone, Marvel is really good at keeping continuity. They don't always do it, but in this particular instance, for them to have the same exact actor that played Black Bolt on the Inhuman series, impressive, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it was a way for them to kind of just give little nods where they could, and in some ways close chapters where they wanted to. I feel like if we see more Black Bolt in the future, it won't be that dude.
You think
And
so?
not like no shade or anything, but I feel like they're going to go with variants and kind of give us the possibility that we're going to get different versions of these characters. But it was cool to see it, and Black Bolt in Marvel lore is a very powerful, very important Inhuman, as is Medusa and stuff, who we didn't see. But it's the Inhumans are a big part of a lot of really big stories, like Civil War to Secret War, stuff like that. So this could be taking us in real cool directions, and that continuity hopefully will be a big part of it.
Yo, Ty, did you notice how they did not include Namor in the Illuminati specifically? And I know that before you were pretty instrumental in kind of giving us the heads up on the Illuminati, but it was noteworthy that there was no Namor, which I think this would have been the perfect time to introduce Namor. Am I wrong?
It's tough to say. I think when she was going through the dimensions, however, they did go to an aquatic dimension.
They did, yeah.
That's true.
At some point. So I think Namor is probably going to have more of a significant role in an upcoming movie. And because of the short time that they were actually on screen, it probably made sense not to bring Namor in. Just because he's a very significant character that you probably don't want to just kill off as soon as he hits the screen. So,
okay, fair enough. We also, as we all saw, once we heard the voice in the trailer, we already knew we were going to see Professor X, OG Professor X, Mr. As many would say, 108-year-old Professor X. This man is a freaking tree from Lord of the Rings, bro. This dude has no lifespan. I don't know how many rings he's got, but it's good to see Professor X again, right? Yes, I mean he's died in so many different ways now. Like, I mean, even Steph is died, and like, how many times can you kill Professor X? You know what I'm saying? I mean,
how many times has Loki died? What do you mean?
Well, all right, okay, all right. I hate it when I'm put in my place, but it happens. You're right. You're 100% right. But I mean, were you as excited as I was when you saw that? I mean, they used the yellow chair from the They used the theme from X-Men, the cartoon. Yes, come on, yes.
Yeah, that was pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie, and it kind of sucked. It was awesome about like how they all died in that scene. But yeah, that was the icing on the cake, I think. And literally, when we were in the movie theater, people were like standing up and like clapping and just screaming. So yeah, it was a monumental moment, and definitely, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't the only one seeing. Oh my God, your favorite guy as I can't remember his name right now as Reed Richards.
Okay, yeah.
Oh man, everyone literally was like just like going nuts. It was so funny. It was great. So yeah, that was pretty awesome to see that, and I'm praying that this will lead into possibly us seeing another Fantastic Four. But I think I might have a little insight on that too. So check the memes later in the group this week, and I'll drop a little tidbit for you guys. What's to come?
Okay, all right. I'm curious as to what that is. I hope we didn't. Looks like we just had a drop in something. So hopefully we didn't do. I mean, I haven't played any videos, so hopefully there's no reason to. But anyway, so yo, Steph. Now I know you're Black Panther, you're X-Men, Storm, hella. But I don't know how big you are on Fantastic Four. I'm wondering if you got the same level of excitement that I got once I saw this dude come onto the screen. Like I literally lost my shit. Like I screamed out loud. Like I scared my daughter. She was next to me. You know what I'm saying? And it there's backstory, but I'm just wondering like your level of excitement once Reed Richards was unveiled as John Krasinski from The Office.
I thought it was cool. I had seen a post from I think it was from one of the comics where it was like the comic image looked just like him. So they kind of hinted at it already. Somebody had posted. I'm trying to find it now to see what it was, but there was definitely an image. Okay, it was no, I'm trying to read it and say it at the same time. Anyway, if you Google John Krasinski, Reed Richards, you'll find it. There's like a Mr. whatever, Mr. Fantastic that looks just like John Krasinski. So I think they kind of hinted at it, but it was cool. I'm not a giant fan, like I didn't freak out, but I was like, oh, that's cute. Also, shout out to Minnie for greeting me appropriately in the chat as Queen Steph. I don't know why everyone else didn't do that. But I just wanted to say I saw it and thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh man. Okay, Queen Steph. All right, one time. Wow, Minnie actually has his own picture on his. Everybody's using these.
He's not banned, so he's not like that Facebook user today.
Oh, that's what he was doing. He was incognito this whole time. He was trying to be behind. Okay, I see you, Minnie. Welcome, Minnie, the Sultan of the comment section. Him and Daniel Biddle hold it down. What's up, Steph?
I found it. Okay, the kicker is that the Marvel Comics are already using Krasinski's likeness for Reed Richards in the 3rd issue of War of the Realms. So we'll see if it shows up. But this is what Mr. Fantastic
I mean, I don't know. That's a
stretch.
It looks like it.
I thought that was Ben Affleck.
Please God, no.
What's up, Ty?
So to Yaz's point, Fantastic Four has been confirmed. It's just that they haven't found a director.
They did.
But as far as that goes, Jon Favreau they have said that he could possibly be the director for the new Fantastic Four movie, just because he is in talks with Marvel about directing again.
All right,
and that he could possibly direct that movie.
Since Ty told it already, yes, they are looking and they have officially found one. It is one of the directors that directed one of the episodes in Moon Knight. I will drop the meme later on in the for you guys.
I just read the article today. They haven't found unless you have an article that says they actually found the director.
Hold on.
I haven't seen anything that says they found a director. They said that they confirmed that the Fantastic Four movie is coming for sure. But that they haven't found a director. So I mean, I would love to see that article because I just saw that this morning. I just read the article this morning.
Yeah, I think the Moon Knight somebody from Moon Knight might be acting as producer for the movie, but not.
Yeah, they're producers. Sorry, my bad. It was producers. My bad.
Okay, no worries. Hey, that's still good news.
I do want to say, remember when we were when they showed the little 4 thing and with the circle, and y'all were like, "That's Captain America 4," and I was like, "Nah, that's Fantastic Four." And you were like, "No, that's Captain America 4," and I was like, "All right, we'll revisit this one day, so Whatever. I can tell you how right I am." I just want to take this opportunity to say, "I told you so."
Go ahead, man.
Get it. Oh no, that's it. Just I told you so. Thank you for making it bigger. So I can say it bigger. I told you so. That's
all right. Tyrone is always right.
Slow clap for Tyrone.
But I do like to revel in it when it happens. I like to just roll around in it, make a big deal out of it, that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, Steph, I know that you being an avid Black Panther and Storm fan and Fantastic Four not necessarily being your jam, even though Michael B. Jordan was in Fantastic Four. All right. And frankly, I still think that the reboot got a bad rap.
I agree.
I think that the reboot was better than. I think that the racial component of it fucked it up for some folks, and I think that overshadowed how dope Dr. Doom was. Dr. Doom was complete. This was the perfect Dr. Doom in my opinion. I don't even say perfect, but damn near perfect version. I mean, this dude was exploding people's heads with his mind. Now Magneto. Professor X could do the same shit if he wanted to, of course, but he wouldn't do something like that. But he's like literally. I remember this scene where he's walking down the hallway. Yes, the hallway, right? And
No,
he
I said
just
his
like
son will.
people are coming to like fight him. He's just like boom, boom, and their heads. Could you imagine being like, "Hey, go get that guy in hallway"? He's like, "All right, I'm on it, boss." Boom, and then your head just like you don't even get like a fair fight. Like he just explodes your whole head. This Doctor Doom, I think that Fantastic Four, the reboot, could have been a Doctor Doom movie. Because I think that the Doctor Doom in it was just that dope.
Yeah.
I don't know about I think Thing was actually underplayed. I think Thing had a good role. I don't know about the Reed Richards aspect of it. And Sue Storm, that was a little you know, they used the girl from House of Cards at the time who was to play Sue Storm. I wasn't really a huge fan of those two, but the Michael B. Jordan version of Johnny Storm, the Thing and Doctor Doom for me made the movie. And I also like the way that they introduced the the Fantastic Four and their small inclusion of the origin story, even though it was different from the comics. I like the way that they twisted it, but they still kept it from outer space. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, outside of that, let me give y'all just a little bit of backstory as to why I completely lost my shit when when Reed Richards came onto the scene. Now, you have to understand, for those of y'all who are unfamiliar with why this was so significant, one of the main reasons why this is so significant is because it was leaked at one point in time that you know, somebody made some fan art at one point in time that showed Sue Storm and Reed Richards as John Krasinski and his wife Emily Blunt. Why is this significant? Because we're like, holy shit, they actually look like John, like Dr. Reed Richards and like Sue Storm. They are actually married in real life. For those of y'all who are fans of the Quiet Place series, you know that John produced and I think helped write and direct some of that movie, if I'm not mistaken. And for those of us who watch The Office, I mean, we like John Krasinski. I mean, this dude he's low key hilarious, and he has a different type of humor that I don't think we really get to see a lot in theatrical versions of anything. So we're like, oh snap, you know what? That would be dope. And that festered on the internet for days, maybe even weeks, y'all. So we didn't even know whether or not there was going to be an actual Mr. Reed Richards as John Krasinski or not. And then the bomb was dropped. John Krasinski actually went online, and so did Emily Blunt, and she even did a Howard Stern interview where they were like, "Look, bruh, they were like, look, bruh, ain't nobody approached us about no goddamn movie. So I think y'all need to calm down a little bit." And they just basically poured water on the whole idea of there being a Johnny Reed Richards and Emily Blunt. Reed Richards and Sue Storm as Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. I mean, they just and there was a collective like, oh, like from the nerd universe, because we was like, damn, man, that would have been so perfect if they had actually been selected to be Reed Richards and Sue Storm. So there was even petitions, y'all. Like there was even folks who was like, nah, bruh, this shit's gonna happen. God damn it, we're gonna make this shit happen. And folks even started making petitions. They're like, no. Listen, we want John Krasinski as our Reed Richards. And change.org got into it. And so they were like, nah, bruh, we really want these two to be Sue Storm and Reed Richards. So I mean, honestly, it started to become conceivable, and it was a collective like, oh, damn, really? It's not going to happen? Once we learned that these two were not actually going to be in the movie. So when we did finally see Reed Richards come onto the screen as John Krasinski, it was like confirmation of the fact that they were not like Tom Holland and could keep secrets. Like it was like, oh shit, like it's them, like it's John Krasinski, right, Ty?
Yeah, and we actually had the pleasure of having somebody who's part of the Marvel universe on the show last week, and she said it's $1 million fine. So you shut up. Yeah, I wouldn't say shit said? Either. I mean, that's like nobody's trying to pay $1 million. So yeah.
So are you saying that Tom Holland has paid multiple millions of dollars.
I'm trying to say that Tom Holland, they probably the first time he did it, they probably was like, okay, we'll chalk that up to your youth, but next time we'll chalk that up to your pocket. and yeah, so there it is. Uh-oh.
Oh, Vince froze. So yes, Tom Holland can't keep his secret. John Krasinski, but I also like when people can keep secrets like this. It makes me wonder, what else are you hiding from us? You know what I mean? So I would say I'm not going to get too attached to these folks just yet, because we might find out some real crazy shit, like they got like sex dungeons or something like that, or they're out there. I don't know. They own a diamond mine or something like that. People are shady these days. So
Can we just give a shout out to Marvel for charging people $1 million fines for like telling like inside secrets and shit? Like, that is nuts.
That's one way to keep it under wraps.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're like, you know what? You ain't gonna tell shit because I'm gonna charge you $1 million. Like, that's what's gonna happen. Like, damn, I wouldn't say anything. I'd be like, oh nope, I don't know them either. Yep. Nope.
But do we actually think that John Krasinski is going to move forward as Reed Richards? I still think that there's a chance that I still think that there's a chance we'll see different versions of some of these heroes. You know what I mean? I do know that there's a lot of talk about John Krasinski actually being Reed Richards. We haven't heard anything about Emily Blunt yet, but obviously the assumptions out there now that we know that they were telling tales. So I don't know. I still feel like there's a lot of opportunity to get different versions of Reed Richards, and I'm not 100% sure that John Krasinski is going to be the absolute best and only choice. He's a likable dude and stuff, and he's kind of he's funny and affable. But Reed Richards is like very cocky, very arrogant about his own intelligence, that kind of thing. He's a lot of the times he's been portrayed as kind of like this affable geek or whatever, but he's Reed Richards often like gets people in a lot of trouble just because he's like, oh yeah, I got this. He's a lot like Tony Stark in that way.
I agree with you, Tyrone, but I think he could be the baseline for Reed Richards. There may be variants, but I mean, Vince said it. People were out here, marching, and they were like, "We want him." So I mean, although I do agree with you that there are going to be variants, I do believe we will see Krasinski again as Reed Richards. Emily Blunt is a star, and she would be, I think, she would do well as Sue Storm. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they both wind up in the next Fantastic Four movie. And then who knows what happens in that movie, So, but I could see them returning.
I'm back. The Illuminati got me, but it's all good. And thanks to Goose, me and Goose and Maverick, we hold it down, hold us down. So yeah, man, I'm hopeful, Tyrone, that we do get to see, despite his creative arrogance, that we do get a chance to see, just because it just seems. I mean, one thing that Marvel does is they tend to lean in when the fans demand things, right? And the fans demanded Miles Morales. They were like, all right, well, we ain't gonna give you the live action yet, but we'll make him the main character of the Spider-Verse, even though it's not the MCU. I know. All right, Marvel was like, listen, all right, so you guys like these what if characters? Well, we'll go ahead and give you live action versions of them, including one Peggy Carter, who turned out to be
Agent
Carter, right? Which fucked my head up too. Another reason I did scream for that, but not as loud as I did for
Krasinski.
For Krasinski, correct. So I mean, this was pretty exciting as well, right, Yaz?
Yeah, she had a fucking jetpack, bro. Fucking Captain America had never had no fucking jetpack. She got her first movie and a fucking jetpack. Woman power. That's all I gotta say. That was clear.
That's real. Yeah, she did, and she was one of the most formidable of the folks that were on the Illuminati. If you don't notice, I do think that there was some Tyrone and Ash. I think that there was significance in the fact that the men on the Illuminati were very easily wiped out by this strong woman. I think that's not something that should be slept on, Ash. I mean, do you think that there was some intentional
I think there was.
projection going on in that, Ash.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the fact that they had Captain America as Peggy Carter instead, that just it's taking it in that direction of the other what ifs and the woman power and all of that, and kind of putting a forefront on that, which was really nice.
Yeah, and they beefed her up too, y'all.
Yeah.
Like when it was Thor, I was like, oh shit, she is huge. I was like, is that really her? Like I was like, shit, bro. Like she'd have been working out and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we haven't seen Peggy since the Captain America series is where she stars as the flashback girlfriend and the one who sucks the life out of him, you succubus. She made this dude grow and die of old age, which is a good death. But yeah, man, it was exciting. And but I have to say,
I was saying, and Captain Marvel, and who they chose to be, they actually chose a black woman to be Captain Marvel for this one. So that was
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah,
well, it was actually Monica Rambeau's mom.
It was Maria. Yes, Maria
Rambeau.
Dr. Rambeau herself. And
I was excited. I think I was more excited about that.
Yeah, she was not. Now, I had to say that out of all of the reveals, this was the least surprising to me because I was already aware that, in the upcoming Marvel's movies, that if you follow the comics, even not even just the Captain Marvel comics, like we know that Captain Marvel does end up being different versions of Captain Marvel, and that one of them is a staunch, powerful black woman, a Marie Rambeau. I even think that Monica, before she I don't know if it's before or after she's Photon, becomes Captain Marvel for a small period of time. There's a man Captain Marvel, it goes, it gets deep, you know what I'm saying? So, but Steph, all right, our resident black woman, peacemaker, peace extraordinaire. I'm saying all these things wrong. What were your thoughts once you did get a glimpse of the Captain Marvel, starred by one lovely Dr. Marie Rambeau?
I thought it was cool. I'm not crazy about that actress, but I thought it was cool that we had a black Captain Marvel. I think this is off topic, but I've been thinking about it the whole conversation. My biggest question in this movie, and I frequently feel this way in Marvel movies, is like, where the hell was everybody else? This was a big deal. Wanda lost her shit completely. Like, where's the rest of the Avengers? Where are her friends? Where are her people? Why did y'all not call an intervention together? Like, they do a good job of explaining, like, oh, I was off-world doing this. But that's always my first thought. Like, where is Hulk? Where is Black Widow? Like, where are the other people who know Wanda and can be like, ma'am, let's sit down. We need to have a talk.
I mean, this is a great question. Some people would say, Tyrone, well, in Earth 818, where this was occurring, all of these characters weren't necessarily accessible.
Right.
But then somebody else will come around and say, well, yeah, but they have access to the multiverse. They could pull these motherfuckers from any fucking universe. Like they're naming 81838. That means you skipped 837 other
what is 634? What's the base?
616.
Okay, right. So in Earth 616, where you already know Wanda is losing her shit, I need at least Strange leaving a voicemail like, yo, Hulk, call me back. Like, shit bad. I need to know that he reached out and tried. Okay,
that's funny as shit.
Like Strange was just like, fuck it.
And where is there like a? Oh yeah, there. Lisa said it.
Yeah.
Another version of Vision that's not dead. Where is he at?
Right.
Yeah.
That would have been smart. I mean, like, go find her dead, robot.
One person that could calm her down.
I honestly was surprised that Vision didn't make a guest appearance in this. I was
Vision.
waiting for Vision. For Vision too to come up with the gold chain. Like, hey,
what's up, baby? I miss you.
What's up, Ty?
I was just gonna say this just is another example of arrogance that is shown by these powerful beings. We had it with Iron Man, with Tony's arrogance. We're again seeing it with Doctor Strange's arrogance. And it's almost like I'm powerful enough, and I have a team of sorcerers and magical beings that can assist me. Why do I need to call for help from anybody? Like I mean, he went to Wanda for help, and that turned out to not be in his best interest. And so at that point, he's like, okay, I don't know who to trust at this point. So I just got to handle this shit on my own. And I think that's kind of where the movie kind of just went left, was once they figured out that Wanda was the culprit. It's like, oh shit, I don't even have time to call anybody now. And how is he going to get in touch with everybody after Tony's death? Everybody kind of went their own
Yep.
way. I think Thor went off with the Guardians. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see him in Thor, Love and Thunder, and then we don't know what the hell happened to Hulk.
Oh, yeah,
Hulk
that's
is
right.
still dealing with
Yep.
a handicap hand that doesn't work, a arm, a little baby arm that doesn't work. So I mean,
all right, well, that's the Avengers. What about the X-Men, the Thunderbolts? Like there's a whole host of. What about the Spider-Man and the Spider? Like, I mean, they name dropped Spider-Verse. So I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate with Steph here. And let's not forget, in the first Doctor Strange, the Ancient One taught us how they can not only use these multiple universes energy to kind of just go through portals, but in some instances they could slow down time. Hallelujah.
Hold on.
They could have been like, pause. Let me go holler at the Hulk from Avengers 1 real quick and recruit his ass, right?
We literally just did that though in the Spider-Verse. You know what I'm saying? Like they just, you know what I'm saying? Like we just figured out that, his little friend, what the fuck is his little friend's name?
Ned,
has the ancient, powers and stuff like that. He has magic. So you have a very valid point there, but I don't know.
But
Well,
that
I don't know if he
also
had magic.
that was only able to happen because of the spell that
He had
literally
the-
broke the multiverse. So there was that connection into other multiverses during that time when he used the spell to make everybody forget who Peter Parker was.
but he also had the
sling, right? Which wouldn't normally connect to another universe or multiverse, except for Doctor Strange's spell. Brought those people in, and they were in 616. Like Toby and Andrew Garfield were in 616 because they had been pulled in by Doctor Strange breaking the multiverse with that spell. So there's not a precedent yet for sorcerers to be able to just portal themselves into another universe or into another into a multiverse. That's only just kind of locations that exist within our universe. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's some great psychobabble. It makes sense in the Marvel universe to not make sense sometimes, but he's right. I mean, in terms of the storyline, that does check out. What's up, Steph?
Is there not like a heroes hotline? Like I don't know if y'all know the Babysitters Club. Somebody would call
cell
in
phones.
and they'd send out an APB to everybody, like who's available. Like why do we not do that? Like I have a new appreciation for him now, but we all know Hawkeye ain't doing shit. He's living his life, looking for some action. He is looking for a reason to die every damn day. Give her some shit to do.
That's the wrong universe, bro.
How does Clint Barton get thrown under the bus? Like he's not even in this episode.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not even in this universe. Like
what's up, Ty?
No, Stephanie brings up a really good point, because that watch that we kept encountering throughout the whole movie, was that not the same watch that Clint gave to his wife?
No, absolutely.
No, that's an agent 9 or whatever number she was, and then the watch that Strange had was the one that his wife
Christine gave him.
Yeah, Christine gave him, like when they were in college. It was like when he graduated, that was like the present she gave him. That's why it was so significant.
Ty's like, all watches look alike, yo. He's like,
But it was like, that's why, because like it was some meaning. I forgot what it was, because I didn't.
Well, yeah, it was a watch. Agent. Her name is escaping me right now. Well, Clint's wife,
Christine Palmer.
Agent 39, right?
Agent 39.
39,
She evidently, this was a memorabilia piece from when she was an active agent in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I guess there was some more significance that'll be uncovered as we progress. But if you go back and watch the first Doctor Strange, the watch has some significance into Doctor Strange and how when he starts to learn about the multiverses, and it becomes kind of a beacon And if you go back and watch it, it makes. I went back and watched the first Doctor Strange, and it made Doctor Strange 2 make a lot of sense. But it blew Doctor Strange 2 blew Doctor Strange 1 out the water for me, Tyrone.
And as far as the question Steph asked, and we've been kind of discussing, I don't know who else Doctor Strange would have gone to in this movie. When America Chavez popped up, he's like, oh, she's like hopping into different universes. Like, this is not something that's supposed to be happening. The reason he went to Wanda is because he knew that she, at least had some experience with the idea of the multiverse existing. I don't really know who else he would go to that exists in 616 and that we've had experience with at this point.
Also, let me make this observation, and I'm glad you bring up America Chavez, and I'm glad that Minnie's here as well, because Minnie's been going on a little mini tirade about America Chavez and her being Mexican and not being Puerto Rican as she is in the comics. So we want to talk about that in a second, but I also want to just bring up the fact that and to play the other devil's advocate, Steph, that remember the first thing they said when the this is Minnie. Yeah, Minnie is really hot, bro. It's almost like they said that she was Dominican, like, what I'm saying. He's just as but the fact that when they first introduced the Illuminati, one of the first things that they introduced them as is the greatest minds of all these groups. Okay, so think of this like as in a political realm, like if the X-Men, if the Avengers, the Inhumans, if the Thundercats, the Silverhawks, if everybody had a representative, then they were supposed to be all represented by the leaders of their groups. And that's why they think, like Ty said, it was a little arrogant for them to just be like, yeah, you know what? We don't need everybody because these are the representatives of those groups. We have the highest of the powers of each. So we have the leader of the X-Men, Charles Xavier. We've got the Avengers' most powerful being who basically who warmed up Thanos for Iron Man in Captain Marvel. We've got the already said the X-Men. We've got the Inhumans leader that does include Miss Marvel in
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt, excuse me. And then we've got the Fantastic Four, who's been Dr. Reed Richards has been heralded in most comics as one of the most intelligent brains on Earth. So I think that one of their points here, and I'm still curious why they didn't put Namor in. Like, I think that this, again, whatever. But
there's been a lot of rumors about him being introduced in Black Panther too.
Yes, he's supposed to be originally. Exactly. Him and Dr. Doom were supposed to be the villains, or not villains. Excuse me. Dr. Doom was supposed to be the original villain before the passing of T'Challa. I've said that before, but yeah, it was a little. I mean, this would have been a decent way to introduce him. But if they are going to bring him in, and I think that they're going to bring him in as I think he's of Indian descent. The actor that's playing him, this particular like I think he's like
Namor?
Coolie. Yeah, Namor. Like he's like a Coolie dude or whatever. What's up, Steph?
I was just gonna say. To address the thought of who Strange could have called for help, Wong was recently mentoring someone who seems to be looking for some action, has got some cool magical powers, and has some experience with weird shit in other worlds. Where the 10 rings at? Okay, what's up with Shang-Chi?
Wow. Yeah, yo, she's spitting facts, yo, and that's not Wong. Whoops.
Damn.
Wong did go. Yeah, he went and got Shang-Chi, but also Shang-Chi, while he does have the 10 rings, and that's a good question because I don't know what the 10 rings, what their power represents yet. We don't know that yet in the MCU, and where it comes from. They kind of gave us like a new, big question mark for that. But when it comes to the power disparity between like Wanda and Doctor Strange and then like a lot of the other people that exist in the MCU, it's just so vast. Like the way Wanda took out Black Bolt, Reed Richards, Captain Marvel, Agent Carter, like it was so quick to show us how powerful she is and how just there's not much that anybody can do about it. But yeah, Shang-Chi might have been able to get a couple punches in before he got turned into dust or whatever Wanda would have done to him, you know what I mean? And so yeah, anybody who would have been called up to help would have gotten their asses handed to them.
Right.
But the point does stand that Wong did at the end of Shang-Chi, we do see Wong like, hey, come on, like you're with us now. So yeah, they were in 838, and we don't know where he is in 838, but yeah.
They should have been at Khmer Rouge, whatever the temple is.
Kamar-Taj, yeah.
Thank you, Kamar-Taj. They should have been there.
Yeah,
Where's Shang-Chi?
Yeah, Wong could have helped in Kamar-Taj. I mean,
Yeah.
Shang-Chi could have helped in Kamar-Taj.
I'm actually glad though, because I don't want to see Wong get turned to spaghetti string. You know what I'm saying? Like if Reed Richards and Captain Marvel and Professor X inside the mind of Wanda can't stop the Scarlet Witch, then we can assume that, you know, a one-armed Hulk and a love-struck Thor and you know, and everybody else that we name in the universe pretty much would have been turned into mincemeat. I don't know.
It's
Ash,
actually really scary how much power Wanda how powerful she ended up being. It's like you didn't really see that at the beginning in a lot of the first movies, and then she ends up being like just be able to take everybody out. And it wasn't really that hard for her. Honestly, it didn't seem like it was.
Well, that's a good point. And frankly, I think that we did hint, and when we were watching Ty's favorite show, WandaVision, especially, he loved the first 2 episodes.
I loved WandaVision too.
He's being sarcastic right now.
Oh, he's being nah, I loved it. I
love black and white shows.
Yeah.
Especially the longer you can make them, the better. But
no,
we did discuss like the Scarlet Witch potential. I think it was not too far after that is when Yaz got the Marvel Cyclopedia, and we were like learning that like the Scarlet Witch like is one of the most powerful beings like in the Marvel universe. And flash that bad boy. So like we're like waiting for the Scarlet Witch. And what we discussed last week was that the preface, the setting up in all of these different movies, in the first cup in the Age of Ultron, where we lose Quicksilver, in the WandaVision series where she loses where they show how she lost her parents, in WandaVision the series as well, where she loses her husband. You know what I'm saying? Like we see the making of this villain, so it's not like completely outlandish. You know what I'm saying? And man, I think that line that she said is going to go down in history as one of the best Marvel lines. I mean, at least the top 100. Oh, you made your kids out of magic, Wanda. Well, that's what all mothers do. Brilliant line, writer. Brilliant line. Now to take this a little further, I did want to talk about Minnie. Minnie, come on to the forefront, bro. Come on, Minnie. Let's talk to Minnie about his whole thing. So it looks like he just clarified something, because we were under the impression, Minnie, I thought that you were upset because they were portraying her as like the wrong the wrong version of Latina. And maybe you're right. You know, it would have been nice for her to be. It looks like you wanted her to just be Afro Latina, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all, and I would have liked to see that. Judging by the way that they portray her in the comics, is the way that we saw her, Tyrone, in this theatrical version. Is it completely inaccurate? Is it off base to the way that she's portrayed? Ty, I see you. You're nodding too.
Yeah, it is. But go ahead, Tyrone.
Oh, I mean, I typically, because of my shade, I try not to get too deep into how dark people should or should not be. But it's there is a legitimate discussion on whether or not taking a comic book character who is typically darker skinned than the actors who portrayed her in the film, whether or not there's a little bit of like a soft whitewashing there kind of thing. As somebody who's lighter hued myself, I tend to kind of slink back into these conversations like maybe this isn't my place, to talk. But she, her Mexican background or her indigenous background as a human being, the actress who played her, doesn't really factor in, because America Chavez is not from Earth, is not human. So does not have a human or earthbound nationality. So it's just another one of the conversations where is it like, is her hair and skin dark enough? And if you want to bring out the color chart and measure and like put it up, like how like you do paint swatches and stuff like that. I mean, like I feel she's a couple shades lighter than the comic. But again, you know, I'm light as
Yeah.
fuck, so I'm like,
I see you. I see you tiptoeing. Let me get you out of this.
oh no, I mean, I didn't have a problem with it, but also, you know, I'm super light, so.
All right. Well, Ty, what's
Yeah,
your opinion?
my concern really wasn't about the complexion of her skin. That's never really my concern. Black is black. Puerto Rican, you know, Dominicans, you know, all Hispanics come in different shades, tones, everything like that. So that's not really my concern as far as the hue. My concern was more about um the fact that they just had her so feeble. America Chavez has superhuman strength. She has like different. She has exceptional power, and they kind of never really like. All they did was show her hopping through portals for the most part. You saw a glimpse of her strength when she was trapped in that that
Box.
yeah, that box that Christine had her in, and then she shattered the box, and then you could see the surprise on Christine's face, like, how did you do that? You know? And that was just like a testament to her superhuman abilities. And I think that for me would have been the major concern as far as how they portrayed her character as it is depicted in the comic book on the big screen. They made her very, very needy. She, you know, I understand not mastering your powers. That's cool. But you know, the fact that they didn't show off, you know, her capabilities, that was a little bit concerning for me.
But I mean,
Um,
Ty. But I mean, this was kind of the introduction, right? I mean, one of the first things that they did was say, like, look, she doesn't know how to control her powers. So, I mean, is it really fair for them to not show like the strong, powerful, you know, completely trained and honed talent of America Chavez when she just now in this movie learned how to control the portal jump?
it made it seem more non-existent than actually them just like tippy-toeing around it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, she doesn't have to be completely in control. Hulk, and for, you know, I'm gonna use him as an example, just because he reacts off rage. Uh in those moments, you still know that he's powerful. You don't know how powerful he is, because you know that as his character book, as his comic book version goes through transitions, you find out that you know Hulk has levels of strength that, you know, no one can match
Right, right, right.
at points, depending on what version you get. And what I'm saying is, she came in as like, when you encounter her at the beginning, she almost seems human. Like
Yeah.
like like that's what I'm saying. Like, her powers are almost non-existent. She gets scared and boom, portal opens. But outside of that, there was really nothing until the end, and then you gotta have Doctor Strange have a talk with her. Okay, you can do this. We need you to do this, and then all of a sudden, you know, she can control everything and all of that. So it's cool, but I would have rather seen her be a little bit more formidable. And then moving forward, you can get her to hone her skills, but to not show all of her capabilities, because again, if Yaz, you have the encyclopedia
She's
there.
not in here. I've been looking for her. She's not in here.
But so
American Chavez is not in there?
yeah,
Okay.
No.
to Minnie's point,
Well,
like she was, so she is again not of Earth and does not have an Earthbound nationality, but she was adopted by the Puerto Rican community when she showed up in our universe. So you know, that's who she identified with. Absolutely, that's you know, what happens in the comics. So right now we have this character who, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If she's not canonically, she's not Puerto Rican. Like, she was adopted by a community and she was raised around that community, so you know, she came up around that. But you know, the idea of it's the actress being of Mexican or indigenous descent, that's, you know, this it's a very semantic argument when we're talking about why you think, because she was adopted by the community, but that doesn't make her Puerto Rican. that makes her somebody who was adopted by the community and just embraced and accepted. You could do that to this new America Chavez. You could embrace and accept her into your community, but you're
damn,
she's not dark enough for me.
Ooh, shots fired.
that was a good one.
Yo, Minnie, I wish you didn't have to work on the weekends, bro. This would have been a dope episode to have you on. I know you did the multiverse. Shout out anybody who did. Once again, quick shout out to the multiverse. This week was a phenomenal episode. I tried to watch it in isolation, but the Wi-Fi connection wasn't that great. But yeah, they had a star on, and it is worth the watch. So if you get a moment after this show, after the after show, go back and watch the multiverse, which airs every week on Wednesdays at 6:30 with the two ties that you see here below. This week's special guest Minnie, as well as special guest, what was her name again? Tyrone, Talim, I don't want to mess it up.
Shakita James,
who is a star, like a Marvel star, like she's on all kind of nerd stuff.
Marvel and DC. She's been on
right.
Marvel and DC. Yeah, she was on Lovecraft Country.
Oh,
She was on a lot. Like once we got her on, we found out all of the shows that she went. You go on her IMDb. She's done like over 50 or 60 shows and movies.
Real quick, Minnie. What country is America Chavez from?
What country is America Chavez from,
Yeah.
Minnie? Minnie will wait.
No, we don't have to wait. I know the answer. But I get Minnie thinks I don't get what he's saying. I understand what he's saying, but it's what the argument here. It just comes down to shade, and I understand you wanted to see a darker skin. You wanted to have more representation of Afro-Latino people. That is a great thing to have. I think that we should absolutely have more of that. This is not an issue of getting the comic stuff wrong. It's just a matter of, do we hire a dark enough actress?
Look, I for one, I feel Minnie's pain here. Okay, I feel his pain. Now, as for the dialect, I mean that's I'm not going to call it a reach. I'm gonna say that's really a complex. That's a version I can't go too far in, because I don't necessarily think, like, I hate when people say things like, oh, you talk white, or you don't, you know what I'm saying? So dialect, I try to be real careful about. But I 100% identify and empathize when you are misrepresented in a universe where you were represented more properly in the comic book realm, and he's right. Like he's 100% right. If Storm gets casted, look at how Stephanie reacted when we discussed. I tried to give homage to Halle Berry, and Steph was like, "Fuck that hoe!" Like she should have said no to all of those parts. She was way too light skinned. She should not have taken the part. Look at how Steph reacted as well to the when we saw the movie Harder They Fall, and how they misrepresented Stagecoach Mary. And even though my daughter just walked in. All right. I'm a fan of Zazie Beetz. Let's just say.
Oh damn! I'm glad your daughter walked in. I don't know what you're about to say.
I was gonna, after show we'll bring it up about her potential to have more children with said people on the panel, potentially the one speaking right now. But however, I at first tried to kind of like defend the notion that hey, listen, everybody in that movie wasn't completely culturally and complexion wise accurate. So the representation of one as they have been depicted, especially when it's a real life depiction, it is. I mean, listen, representation is a big deal. That's one of the reasons why we love Marvel, is because they don't shy away from representation. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that will upset folks is when there is misrepresentation. And in this particular instance, our good friend Minnie feels that that she was misrepresented, and that she could. You know what? This seems like perhaps more a role for Zoe Saldana. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know she's Gamora and she's too old for the role that they seem to have her playing in this, which was a young kid. But like somebody, now maybe that's wrong too, because Zoe's Dominican. You know what I'm saying? What Minnie wants is like one of the Afro-Latina young ladies that sing reggaeton in San Juan to be depicted. And he's not wrong. I think he has a point. He has a plight. And Tyrone's not wrong either. Tyrone's like, look, bro, she's not human. Like, so by default, she's not Puerto Rican. She's just Puerto Rican-esque. She's Puerto Rican welcome. If she had been adopted by two Chilean immigrants, then she would have been wearing a completely different tag on her back. You know what I'm saying? Right, Yaz? Am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping. But I'm just saying, like, that was great, Marvin. Holy shit, that just had me dying. No lie. Oh my god. I'm just saying, both of my grandparents are from Puerto Rico. And my grandfather, he is really, really light-skinned, like super light-skinned. And he's from San Juan. And my grandmother is darker than dark. Like, I have a VHS of her, and you can't see her in the video. All you see is eyes and teeth. And she's from Ponce. And that's like, I'm dead ass. I love this video because it's so funny. And she's from like a part of Puerto Rico that's near the equator, and they're darker and they're Puerto Rican. So it just depends on where you're from. You know what I'm saying, Minnie? Like, I mean, I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican, and my dad is light-skinned Dominican. My mom is darker-skinned Puerto Rican. So I mean, we all come in different colors, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I get where the shade, you know what I'm saying, was a little off, but like, she's my shade. So you're saying like I can't be Puerto Rican, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not dark enough. Like, I'm just
that's not what Minnie's saying.
He's
That's not what
concerned
Minnie's
more
saying.
about Puerto Rican. He's not concerned about the shade.
If I'm hearing Minnie correctly, it sounds like he would have preferred this to be a Puerto Rican actress, which that wouldn't be a problem. What I'm saying is that this is not a Puerto Rican character. This is a character who identifies with the Puerto Rican community without a doubt because of where she ended up, where she was raised, who embraced her and stuff like that. So, would it have been cool to see a Puerto Rican actress? Yeah, probably. But are they taking something away from the character by making? And that's an objective, subjective point. For me, it's canonically it's not an issue because this is not a human. This is not a human being. You know what I mean? We're not erasing somebody's culture because this is not a human being. America Chavez in this movie does embrace Puerto Rican culture. Now, the dialect issue and stuff like that's not my place. I am white and black. I have no connection to the Hispanic community, so I can't speak on dialect and stuff like that. I'm just speaking from a pure comic canon point of view, and that's what I wanted to help out and say.
Well, all right. So if I could, I think that, and we're gonna move on too, because we're about to like literally set fire to the comment. Like Minnie is like going Super Saiyan.
His fingers must be tired, bro.
Minnie has legit taken the gummy berry juice this morning, yo, and he is bouncing all over the place, yo. And I'm not. I am completely. I get Minnie's frustration, like I legit do, and that's why I'm a little nervous about the live action depiction of Miles Morales, because Miles Morales, man, is a combination of two cultures, man. Like he's
black and he's Puerto Rican.
Right?
And so you have a manual. You're like, you hire a black and Puerto Rican actor because this character is from Earth and is black and Puerto Rican. So like that's how you would do that.
Speak it.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Let me just say this, Minnie, and first of all, Minnie, because I can't tell like how like hot he really is. Like he's lost his. I don't know if he's
like really. He talked about this on our show for about a good 20 minutes. I was like, look, Minnie.
Yeah, like he's like really hot, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be hot, but I just want to, we're this is just a fun little show. I get the feeling Minnie is loading up the Mac right now, and he's gonna come look for Tyrone somewhere.
That's fine. And see, it's funny because I'm just all I'm saying is that she's not a Puerto Rican person.
Tyrone, let me just. Your point's been made, bro. We don't want Minnie busting through the internet. Like I got the feeling, like it's like Minnie right now. Minnie is on fuego. Mira, coño, Minnie, mi gente. Estoy solamente jugando mañana. Podemos hablar. Está bien, okay? No es necesario tener sentiramos con este. See, if I said that right, I don't know if I did or not. I don't know. Yeah, as you check me if I need to be. But yeah, man, it's completely valid for Minnie to feel the way he does, in my opinion. It's the same way that Ash probably feels when she watches movies where they depict people as Jamaican, and the Jamaican accents are horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like if you watched, I just watched Peaky Blinders, the Peaky fucking Blinders, and they got this dude on there that's supposed to be Jamaican in like the first couple of episodes, but he loses his Jamaican accent like throughout the rest of the series. And like if you like, my wife is a Jamaican, and when she hears like people that aren't Jamaican that are supposed to be depicting Jamaican accents in movies, she loses her shit, and she's right to be able to do so. I mean, representation matters, and all Minnie ultimately is saying is that, listen, if you're going to depict somebody, consult somebody of Puerto Rican descent. If Marvel, you're so good at depicting people in the comics on screen, so go the extra mile and do more research, and perhaps even if necessary, book or cast somebody who will represent the culture to the fullest. And he's saying, listen, if they had actually represented her to the fullest extent of their ability, and let's not act like Marvel doesn't have reach and budget to be able to do so, then then this wouldn't have been an issue. But they and by the way, quick pop quiz, and I'm gonna pose this to you, Tyrone. If you could you just say the name for me? Just
Is it Sochito?
All right, you know what? That was a trick question because I don't know how to say it either.
Sochi.
Is that right? Kochi?
Sochi.
Zochi.
It's like Zochi, Zochi.
So what about the last two letters?
Silent.
Have you ever seen the way Siobhan is spelled by white people?
Oh yeah.
You just gotta
Shiob. Yeah.
This is why I'm so happy my mom did not name me Jajan, because I would be having the same issues.
What was your name supposed to be? What?
Jajan.
Yo, what the hell? Yo, that sounds very reminiscent of somebody I know in the Star Wars universe. Man, I'm so glad I kept that picture on there. That's my favorite picture to go to anyway. But yeah, Minnie, from we get it, bro. I get it. You know what I'm saying? You're not wrong to be as hot as you are. But bro, when that Miles Morales come out, bro, I hope me and you can still be friends, because he better, he better represent, like we both have attachments to, and you too, as a Black and Latino dude, we definitely have a high expectation of the way that Miles Morales is going to be depicted. So yes, if they did cast a dark-skinned white man with a black scent, I'd be pissed the fuck off. You're right. So moving on, bruh. Damn, Minnie. One time for Minnie, who was this co-star, he's insulting of our comments. But I just wanted to real quick make sure that you and Tyrone, bro, this is just a discussion. So I hope you.
Oh yeah,
I feel like Minnie, like.
Minnie and I have had a lot of debates before, and it's always love and it's always respect.
Yeah, it's all right. Cool,
yeah,
cool.
I know Minnie's not. I mean, I would imagine Minnie's not over there loading the Glock right now, but
yeah, I don't think so, Minnie. If anything, he's loading an empanada right now. So we'll go ahead and leave him with that, man. But a couple more things about this, and then I'd like to get into a couple of things, and we'll continue to discuss this. Hold on, just a second. Hey, just give me a little bit. I'm trying to focus. All right. she keeps just popping up. We've ordered our MegaCon outfits.
Nice.
Since I did catch COVID. I now am able to attend MegaCon next week, which I wasn't able to originally. So thank you, COVID, for getting me canceled off the cruise.
Thank you,
so that I can now attend COVID. Practically COVID. COVID lives at MegaCon too. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, man.
Look at Minnie being smart, staying out of Facebook jail. I appreciate that. The little period. That's good.
All right, cool. Yeah, I know you're gonna be there, Minnie, and I know we already talked about why I ain't messing with the Geeks of Comedy no more. I was gonna talk about that this morning, but I've already had my rant for the day. I'll save that for next week. But for right now, let's just go ahead and say that the Multiverse of Madness was definitely dope. There was a couple other things that happened as well. Like, I'm still wondering what was the significance, and maybe Yas can give us a little bit of insight as to why they felt the need to include Ultrons in this particular episode.
Okay, so Minnie actually pointed it out, and thank you, Minnie, for that. Before the rant started. So technically, in this universe, the reason why Vision is not in this movie is because Ultron is in this movie.
Oh,
Ultron
This is
worked.
this is pre-Vision, so you know what I'm saying. Like they're the Ultron bots, which I was so amped up when I saw my fucking bots in there. I was just waiting for my man to be like, these fucking humans, they're the world. I was so ready, but he didn't show up, but the bots did, so that made me super happy.
See, now my thoughts on this, and this is the question that I can't get past with the different multiverses and stuff like that, is where are the kids coming from? Like Wanda, because Wanda has kids in all these other universes. If they're not visions, and if she didn't just conjure them by magic, like where are they coming from? Like I want to learn this, and I don't have a theory because I've been thinking about it for a week now. I don't have a theory on it, but I can't wait to get that question answered so we could find out.
She went okay, so I'm just saying she's like technically a normal mom in this, right? So maybe she just went to like a fertile bank and got
fertile bank.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like maybe she went to a fertile bank and was like, hey, I want to have kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then she like like normal people do that can't have kids.
Well, she's got powers. Like she's Wanda.
Right,
she's Wanda
exactly.
Maximoff. She's got her powers and stuff like
she's
that.
Got powers, and her kids, like if she got inseminated, I'm just saying, like her kids don't know that mom's superpowered, and they might have superpowers. That's the new live action wickedness.
So she went to the bank and she was like, "Make them look like this."
You can do that now. You can do that. You can customize your children. That's you know what I'm saying. Like she knew what she wanted them to look like. You know what I'm saying, because she already had them in WandaVision. She knew what she wanted her. So she literally could have gone to a bank and be like, paid the money and be like, this is what mind fuck them to make her a baby. You know what I'm saying? And bam.
It could have been crazy. She made them in all the universes just for different reasons, maybe. Because maybe she just already has that internal thing to want children, and all the universes she ends up making them.
But I think she just conjured up a 3D printer and just was like,
I like mine better. She went to the bank. Yeah. I like mine better.
Well, I mean, I feel like because if Wanda's a Nexus being, like we know Nexus being is supposed to be, like they're the same across the multiverse. Like they're the only beings that are the same. So do we have a Wanda in every universe that's about to just go all Scarlet Witch on people because each Wanda actually conjured those kids through magic or her imagination or whatever, that kind of thing. So that's the question that they didn't really address in the movie that I'm just so interested to see where they go. I think we're going to get a very crazy ass multiversal explanation for it that'll end up bringing us to more stuff. But it's something that's been like blowing my mind for the whole week. So I've just been thinking about it. What up, Ty?
That makes a lot of sense. I like that explanation, Tyrone. That they were that in 616 alone was where she had the relationship with Vision that was fucked up, and that made her into this evil scarlet bitch. You know what I'm saying? And for that reason, she permeates these other universes. Tyrone, please.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of just made the point that I was going to make. In all these universes, Wanda has always longed to have family. I don't know if in every universe she's lost her brother. I don't know if in every universe she lost her mother and father. But if that is the case, then it is inevitable that she creates Speed and Wiccan. The difference, like you just pointed out, in the 616 universe is that Vision dies at the hands of Thanos. In those other realities, especially in the 833 with the Illuminati,
838,
they dispatched Thanos, so they killed Thanos. So Vision doesn't have to die. All of the stuff that happened in her universe doesn't have to happen. So that mental break, that loss of vision is the deciding factor that changes that version of Wanda from all the other versions of Wanda. Because if you notice, the version of Wanda that she tried to dream walk into, she was happy. The kids were happy. They were happy. They were cool. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. So I think that was the significant change and the difference between all the other Wandas in the universe.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Look, I want to go ahead and start wrapping up the multiverse talk, but we will, if I'm not mistaken, we already have a preset after show for today, so we'll continue to talk more of this afterwards in detail with medicinal products present. If you like to attend, so yeah, make sure y'all check us afterwards, man. We're gonna keep on talking multiverse. We're gonna keep on talking. We're not done talking today, but there will be an after show actively scheduled for after this. Hopefully, all of us can attend. As many of us that can attend will attend. But yeah, we'll also welcome anybody who wants to join us in the group. We'll post the link, or at least somehow we'll get it to you, and maybe we can have more folks. But one of the last things I want to holler about in the multiverse, in the multiverse, was the thing that I really wanted to ask Yaz about. Her favorite character, Zombie Strange, gives us an appearance. So yeah, it's like, what's up, man? I know you were excited what you saw.
No,
Come on,
I
man.
was not excited. You know damn well I wasn't. That fucking scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh shit. The lady next to me like looked at me crazy because I was so like shocked that like they looked at, you could see so close of his it was disgusting.
But yes, but he was dope as hell. I mean,
he was. I will give you that. He was dope as hell. He was fire. He was funny. It was, it was a whole thing. And I definitely liked how he used, all the spirits to make, what I'm saying, like the supreme, strange pose and everything, like flying with them and shit. That was super cool. I'm not gonna lie. But you guys know me. Yeah, no fucking zombies. So yeah, this scared the shit out of me. Especially I saw it at like late night. So I had to go home and stay up a little bit to be like, I have to forget about Zombie Strange. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, come on, yes. I mean, but Zombie Strange was like was a hero.
I'm literally an insomniac. It doesn't matter if he was the fucking hero. I'm still terrified of zombies. Okay, I done told you. If we were at Hogwarts and I had to do the damn test with the door, it'd be a fucking zombie. I told y'all that. I'd be like, I'm about to have a heart attack. Someone save me. Oh my God.
That's a good reference, by the way. And we still haven't talked about in detail the Fantastic Beasts sequel, which hopefully we'll get to soon.
Which was very good, by the way.
Yeah, well, let's not spoil it this week because I still haven't seen it. I'm gonna go see it today, hopefully.
It's been out longer than.
All right. Look, I didn't have Wi-Fi last week. I was in isolation. All right, and I
spoil it for Vince.
All right. Look,
it's been out like a month now.
All right, what y'all ain't gonna do is shame me for not seeing. Look, I had to see Sonic first, and then I had to see Morbius. And speaking, all right, well. Look, we'll talk great about this, but we'll go ahead and shelve for the time being the multiverse talk. As we have already agreed and concluded, there are not very many bad reviews coming in about Doctor Strange. Thus far, it's been pretty positive. I think it's pretty high on Rotten Tomatoes as well for the critics and for the audience. So Doctor Strange, this is a win for Marvel, especially coming off of Venom 2. And Venom and Morbius. Now, there is a couple things. We only got about 25 minutes left before we go into the after show. So real quick, I just wanted to say there's a couple other things that we wanted to discuss here. One of them is we've been following this show, Halo. I don't know if y'all have been watching Halo or not. But it turns out to be a pretty damn good series. But before we get into Halo, there is a reason why I summoned my good friend Ash Cash Bagash, who we have now quoted. We've now I think we've given her the nickname Ashy Cash.
No, that's not real. That's not real.
No,
you say Stephanie. Perfect. Stephanie's on my side. Like that's not a real thing.
Come on, man. Oh, to stick together. Okay, I got you. First of all, am I tripping or am I seeing like Ash and Yaz are looking like a Ash Yaz verse going on? Like they look like they could be variants.
We're variants of each other.
Just like the Puerto Rican version of the Jamaican Ash. Anyway, but there's a reason why I wanted Ash here specifically, and we've been talking about this for I want to say months. About how we are both what we like to call Whovians. Okay, now Whovians, all right, are people that are very deep into the Doctor Who universe. Now, I am a Whovian from back in the day. Like I watched the black and white Doctor Who's. I'm gonna keep it real. I was a what the Floridians call a jit when I was watching these. So I don't honestly remember all of the regeneration, the characters, but the new updated reboot Doctor Who's that you can see on BBC America. You could download the app if you have cable, or you could just pay, whatever, or get the Fire Stick like Ty would sell you.
Yeah.
You got a Fire Stick, Ash?
No, I just have Amazon Prime Video. That's how I get it. Yeah.
He was about to become Tylene's biggest fan. Tylene, he's a Fire Stick representative.
I used to have one, but I don't anymore.
I literally have one. Like, I'll even show it to you. Hold on a second. I just unplugged it.
Let's just get up in the middle of it. Hey, I got this over here.
It's just sitting here, and Tylene every other week is like, yo, I swear, if you don't go ahead, it's so easy. It's mad easy. Just follow the prompts. I sent you the YouTube video. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, whatever, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in a few minutes, Ash and I are going to try to give the rest of the panel reasons to follow the Whoverse. Now, I'll start. Well, first of all, there's a lot of Marvel in these Doctor Who's. Okay, I don't know who your favorite new rebooted Doctor Who was, Ash, but these are the leading characters. Now, there's a bunch of different Doctor Who's. For those of y'all that don't know, well, actually, Ash, real quick, why don't you just give us an idea of who Doctor Who is and why you like her so much?
Like they. It's a they
like
now.
They. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Excuse me.
Well, I mean, honestly, I like it because I've always been a fan of anything time travel and space. So it's like it combines all of that into one, and just the complicated plot lines and the interactions between the past, present, and future, and taking all of those adventures, and it mixes like fiction with history, because it actually takes like historical events and then puts their own twist on it in terms of what could have happened, what actually happened. Was it actually history? Was it aliens? And they try to like bring like other universes and other planets into it, and it's just so many unlimited possibilities for storylines, especially with the regenerations, and it's just this continuous thing. And it's one of the longest running sci-fi shows going on right now, and that that's a testament to how much you can do with that storyline and that base of the character.
Yeah, agreed. And now, real quick, just a shout out to Ty, who has to exit because he's not feeling as well. So, Godspeed to your recovery, my friend, and hope you and the family get through this. And we're here if you need anything. But back to Doctor Who. Agreed. Like this is a guy. Well, excuse me. This is a being. He's actually from a planet called Gallifrey. Okay. Yeah. And the Doctor Who's, which you've pointed out accurately, I can't refer to them as him anymore because it is they. Like this is a legit. This is not like a non-binary Gen Zer. like Doctor Who is multiple sexes, multiple races, because he can regenerate. Like he's like they are, and this is good practice, by the way. I need to learn how to communicate in non-binary. They're actually almost seemingly infinite. All right, but they're not. All right, there is an origin. Actually, that is explored very, very meticulously in the most recent Jodie Whittaker starred Doctor Who. So what y'all should know is this: Doctor Who comes from a long line. It comes from it predates Star Trek. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes way back. And Doctor
1963.
Who, 1963. Come through facts. You know what I'm saying? And we have been watching for the longest. Doctor Who uses a screwdriver as like now the screwdriver is like this. It's basically a magic
sonic screwdriver. Yeah,
it can basically do practically anything. And they travel in this thing called a TARDIS, the time and relative dimension in space, disguised as a police box, which is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Now, since the older versions, they have rebooted Doctor Who, and these, as I mentioned before, are the newer characters from the left. All the way to the left was the first one. He only lasted one season and then went on. Now, I'm just curious, of the new rebooted Doctor Who's, Ash, out of curiosity, do you have a favorite?
Matt Smith, so the 11th,
Oh,
11th Doctor. And I don't know if it's because I like his, I mean, I do like his character. He's very goofy, you know, the bow tie, the little, whatever, the fez hat, all of that. But I also like there's those seasons were really good because that's when they go into Amy Pond and Rory, River Song, where he actually gets married and falls in love with River Song, and the fact that their timelines, when she dies, is the first time he meets her. And then when she,
that's right.
like when she's born is the, you know, it was just like, just that whole thing was so crazy. And then the love story between Amy and Rory and the fact that, you know, River Song was their kid and how the whole thing, just that whole story is why I like the Matt Smith version of Doctor Who the most, because, you know, there's just so much connections going on there.
Now, Matt Smith, who is this guy, that's his real name. For those of y'all who did not see Morbius because you listened to Tyrone's advice, was actually in Morbius. So he is officially in the Marvel, not cinematic universe, but in the Marvel universe as a character.
He was probably the best part of that movie, though.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he was about the best thing about that movie.
I think it was.
In my opinion.
I think that was a good. I did enjoy Matt Smith's role. But not to be overshadowed, but my favorite Doctor Who of the rebooted versions was actually in the Marvel. I don't know if you can consider this MCU or not. But
now that they brought it in,
they played Kilgrave. He played Kilgrave in Jessica Jones.
David Tennant.
The native, yes, David Tennant. My favorite. He wears Chucks. All right. Oh, well, they look like Chucks. I don't know if they're actually Chucks. But he was my favorite, man. And I think he was the longest running rebooted Doctor Who as well. I think he lasted like 3 or 4 seasons.
I think Matt Smith lasted about that too.
I think Matt Smith was, 3 seasons. I think David Tennant, well, I don't know the facts. I had to research, but I think David Tennant went about, I think a little more. I think he went about 4 or 5. I remember thinking Matt Smith went out a little quick. But the way this works, guys, is Doctor Who regenerates. He doesn't die. Okay. He can't really be, I mean, I guess he can be killed to an extent. Like he's not human. They're Time Lords, right? Go ahead, Ash.
There was a point in one time where they said that this was going to be the last regeneration. Like you run out after a time, but they keep riding around it and bringing back new doctors. So
they keep doing the great comic book sci-fi thing where they find a way, like Ian Malcolm would say. But yeah, man, my favorite was David Tennant. And David Tennant, I think his co-host, was it Rose? It was David Tennant and Rose, right?
He started with Rose, and then Rose ended up in another alternate universe, and they got separated, and it was really sad. Yeah, it was. It's a very emotional thing, and things like it's kind of like if you ever watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. All right, there's some similarities here where like you don't realize it, but like he'll go back into the past and he'll like do something, and it'll be the reason why this is the way it is in our timeline. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't know that the reason dinosaurs existed is because he turned a fart from one of the brontosauruses this way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm making up shit, but that's one of the dope things about it. And I mean, of all of the Doctor Who's, and unfortunately we don't have as much time to discuss it, so hopefully you'll stay through to the after show and we can discuss it even more. But of all the Doctor Who's, my least favorite Doctor Who of the reboots, unfortunately, was Peter Capaldi. Now it has nothing to do with his age, but it just was so off. I mean, it felt like they were trying to bring back the older Doctor Who's into the new Doctor Who, but we had just had 2 young, vibrant Doctor Who's. Yeah. But they did try to explain it. They spent like the first 2 episodes of that season explaining why he was older, why he looks. They even said, "Why do I look so cross?" Like he had to describe why he looked the way he did. I think. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I think the real reason I think Peter Capaldi was a original Doctor Who fan. so he already has that original like Doctor Who feel. But I think he harassed them. Like he kept harassing them, harassing them, and saying like, "I want to." Yeah, like he wanted to do it, and he kept going back at like whoever the director was, like pretty much harassed him until he got the part. I don't know if that's like, if they still like, did whatever, interviews and auditions, but that's what I heard. Like he was dead set on being Doctor Who.
Yeah, Lisa brings up a great point. I think we've lost everybody. Our viewership is dropped.
There's nobody in the comments.
Like, Doctor Who, exit stage right. Like this, like for some reason, like I don't know why it's so hard to find other Whovians. I was so geeked up when I met Ash, and we could actually, I had somebody to talk Doctor Who with. It's so difficult. When I met Tyrone and I found out that he was half British, I was like, oh shit, we can talk Doctor Who. He's like, I don't actually. I can't speak as I don't have my voice isn't as grandiose and deep. But he's like, well, actually, I don't really, do the Doctor Who thing.
I tried like several different doctors, and it just didn't speak to me. It's not that I didn't enjoy it. It was just that I would watch an episode, I'd watch a couple episodes, and then I wouldn't be like, oh, I got to stick with this doctor. It was just something I would see here and there. And, I know Rose and David Tennant was fun and stuff, but yeah, it just never really grabbed me.
I think for me, it's grandfathered in, Ash, because I watched it with my pops. Like Star Trek and Doctor Who are two shows that I used to watch with my father. You know what I'm saying? Like as a child, in St. Louis. And I think that might be one of the reasons why, because it's like it's imprinted on me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the things like my father and I, we still discuss to this day, like the Doctor Who's and the Star Treks. It's one of the few things that we still have in common. Unfortunately, I love my pops, but Pastor Taylor is different from Vince Taylor Jr. So there is a little bit of an emotional connection, but it's also just the fact that I think that the whole concept of Doctor Who is dope. Even in the Jodie Whittaker version of Doctor Who, they low-key introduced the first Black Doctor Who I don't think really got enough cred. That's you.
They were sneaky about that.
Yeah, you saw how they did that. It was like low-key. They were like, oh, we're gonna go ahead and give y'all this Black Doctor Who so we don't hear y'all talking shit on Twitter. And so yeah, we got a low-key Doctor Who. What did you feel about that, Ash?
I wish we could have gotten like a whole series out of her instead of them just saying she was the first one and okay, now she's gone.
Yeah. I honestly thought that was a prelude to her being introduced as the next Doctor Who. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was gonna be too, and then now they're like, nah.
So I was shocked when the announcement was made finally that it's a possibility. Now there's still some speculation, but it's a possibility that our next Doctor Who is going to be none other than wait for it as I scroll and find the.
Should I upload you want me to?
Now I got it. Yep, it is Mr. Now some of y'all recognize this dude. He played on this show called Sex Education,
yeah.
Right? If I'm not mistaken. And his name I'm having trouble pronouncing. I don't want to mess it up.
Ncuti Gatwa.
Who is that? You, Steph?
No, that's Ashley. Ncuti Gatwa.
Ncuti. Okay, so give us some background on this gentleman.
All I know that he was in Sex Education. He's from Rwanda. He moved to Scotland when he was like 2 years old with his family. So they were refugees. So he's the second Scottish. I think Peter Capaldi is Scottish too. So he's the second Scottish doctor, I think is what they were saying. But he's gonna be the next one. And then I only know him from Sex Education, which I've never watched, but I'm gonna watch it now to see what he's like in that.
Yeah, well, that is interesting. A Scottish black man. We don't have too many of those. I mean, to speak about in the universe. Excuse me, Steph. Are you excited, Steph? Will this get you to watch Doctor Who? Maybe now that we have a black doctor leading the reign.
Like nah.
No. I love Steph's honesty, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's why we love going to Steph. She's like, nah, I'm cool on that. I'm still tripping out on how Halle Berry was Storm.
Why is he gotta be Scottish?
Well, he's from Rwanda. They're Rwanda refugees.
You missed that whole part. He's a refugee.
That's just where they ended up. He could have ended up anywhere.
Okay. I mean, if his blackness is like, if the show becomes more black because of him, maybe I'll watch. If they just plug and play him into the currently very, very, very white world of Doctor Who, I'm probably not going to be super interested.
It's not. I mean,
if I start getting Lovecraft vibes, I'm in there.
Yeah. I mean, it's not soup. I mean, they do address racial issues as part of their episodes, you know, especially when they go into the past and stuff like that. They don't shy away from that at all. So it's not like it's completely, you know.
Well, yeah, but
I didn't actually know that. I just assumed looking at the cast.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like telling you it's not as bad as you would think it would be.
Yeah, they do have like Doctor Who always has a travel companion or two or three. And in most of the most recent series, they have included characters of color.
It's giving magical Negro.
Listen. I have more of a introduction to it that is a little more emotionally significant. So perhaps it's not in my place to say why you should or shouldn't. But I think that it's safe to say that we have failed miserably, Ash. At convincing, we even lost our own panel. Like, Yaz just woke up.
I'm still watching it. I don't care. It doesn't affect me much.
I'm falling asleep. I'm not waking up. I'm falling. Like, you see me leaning, like I'm straight up, and
This sucks so bad. Well, at least me, Ash, and evidently Kevin Dean. Shout out to Kevin Dean out of St. Cloud, Kissimmee. It sounds like he's a Whovian as well. So maybe at some point in time, me, you, and him will just have our own Who off. But yeah,
there's a character called Yaz, if that helps.
That's right. It actually kind of looks like Yaz.
It doesn't help.
It doesn't look like Yaz. You think everybody looks like everybody? Stop.
Listen. My name was cool before it was cool. Okay, it doesn't help. I'm being serious. My name was.
It's
cool.
True. Yeah, her name sure is. Yeah, and she's a badass too. Yeah, you'd like her.
The doctor's fallen in love with her. So
I'm not.
I didn't remember that part.
In the last episode, like she was saying, she was married. Remember River Song? She was married, Matt Smith's version was married to River Song. That was the only time he ever fell in love. And then she was saying to Yaz how, you know, she could get attached to her, but she doesn't want to because, you know, humans die and she doesn't.
Right. That's right.
Sounds like a Yaz line right there. No lie.
I thought you were thinking more about, because I know Jodie Whittaker, who was the first woman version of Doctor Who, which was pretty monumental. When that happened, it broke the internet for the Whovians. We were like, oh shit, like it's not a white man no more. Wow. So that was like the introductory. They're like the Hillary and Obama of the Whoverse. You know what I'm saying? So for them, we give them credit. And I would just recommend to those y'all outside of this panel that if you have a summer to waste, go download the BBC America app and get on board with the Who universe, like me and Ash are. I've been waiting for this day for the longest because I want to talk more Doctor Who, and so we'll talk a little bit after. Now, unfortunately, we're running low on time. We've only got 3 minutes left, so we have to end this episode. But we still have not talked about, which we said we were going to talk about, a couple other things. One of them is the Halo series. Episode 8 was pretty revealing. And by revealing, I mean like literally revealing. But there also is
we were seeing Master's cheeks. Like that.
Yes, exactly. Yo, that one's good. We gotta chop that one up. That's going on the internet. And then also we didn't get a chance to really delve into something else that I wanted to delve into, which was the Star Trek Strange New Worlds series. Ty mentioned it earlier. They are spotlighting Uhura, who was, of course, the black translator in the original Star Trek series, and also gave us our first on-screen interracial kiss between her and Captain Kirk. So we like to discuss this at length a little bit more, but for right now, since we only have, I think, about 120 seconds left before we have to end this broadcast, I just want to say thank you really quick. Dang, if Ty was here, he'd give us our sound effects. Thank you so much to our special guest today, Miss Steph. Ash, I don't know, sometimes anyway, Ash, I'm so sorry. I'm losing all my black woman cred right now, but Ash, thank you so much for joining us on the panel today. I hope you can stick around and talk with us in the after show.
Yeah, I'll be here.
Okay, cool. And maybe even Steph, if she has any energy left after her eventful evening last night of playing Avengers and playing with joysticks. So let's
we went from PG to rated R real quick.
I don't know what I'm talking about here. But yeah, man, it's been great. I'm less than 60 seconds in. So let's go ahead and give our exit. Thanks to the panel. Y'all tune in. We're about to go ahead and go live in the group and on YouTube. Shout out to Mini Me on the side. And as we always say, y'all, be yourself authentically. If you ain't being yourself, you're being fake. That includes whether you're Afro, Latino, Mexican, alien, or Puerto Rican. And in all things you do, if you're a blurred, please, if you're a nerd, you a geek, whatever it is, go ahead and let that geek flag fly. See you at the after show. Pull up.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra 2. I find it hard to be Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging and the uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity. Yeah, them niggas over there. Yeah, now look at